Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Thursday. Nvidia really moved today on the just absolute blowout earnings that they had, uh, basically on AI, and other AI stocks did well today, but the rest of the market not so much. So it's a kind of a bifurcated market. It's a tale of two cities, really. Um, Nvidia's forecasted sales were up 64% year over year. This is absolutely a blowout, and this is a lot of this is to do with some of the AI stuff, but real interesting situation. We have moved into a confirmed uptrend, so it's a good idea to come out of cash. I was mostly in cash a week ago, but I have been moving in to from cash. I'm about 70% invested, and that is the recommendation. This is sort of the IBD, Investor Business Daily, recommendation relative to the situation. We are in a confirmed uptrend, so that's definitely something to start moving into stocks. I just want to show you Nvidia, of course, because that's the stock that really has been the one that has really kicked it off here today, and it was up significantly. And the real interesting chart here. When this slide was taken, Nvidia was at 379.80 a share, was up 74.42 a share in one day, so almost 25%. Just absolutely amazing when it comes to that. But Nvidia up significantly. Now, I did not catch Nvidia. I wish I had. I instead played AMD. That did pretty well as well. Not as good as Nvidia, though, I'll tell you that. Let's take a look at the AMD chart just real quick. AMD, and this kind of shows you how I played this particular one. It did gap up as well. Not as good as Nvidia, though. I'll tell you that. But pretty good all the way around. Here's the chart of AMD, and kind of gives you an idea sort of where I bought. I've been building a position in AMD really for the last really since about Monday, and that sort of shows it here. We started really below the pivot. The pivot on this one, 102, 102.43. It came right through the pivot, and then just kind of in this box showing you kind of where I bought, and then I did sell some at 117, take some profits. It's moved up from there, and it is moving up in the after hours. 120.75 is the price right now for AMD in the after hours. So the thing is, I would not buy it here. Adding it here is okay, but part of the thing is we're now almost 19% above. We're actually a little more, 19% above the 21-day exponential moving average, and that is at 101.10. So really, I think we're going to have to wait for it to pull back a little bit. I'm going to try to protect some of my my profits here, but it moved up very nicely. My average cost on this was about right at about 101 or 102. I haven't done the math on it, but very nice. Coming through this incredible this incredible move up. Also, you'll notice just a lot of institutions are piling in on this one as well, and so very strong. And but if you do have profits, you need to protect them because guaranteed this will settle back lower, more than likely. Wanted to show you the stock of the day, and the stock of the day is SMAR. And this one, interesting stock, relative strength of 90. I don't own this one. So it's called Smart Sheet. That's the name of this company. And it has been seeing some pretty nice action here. It's coming with a cup pattern, 96 relative strength. That puts it in the top 4% of stocks. We have a traditional entry at about 49.09. Let's take a look at this on the live chart. SMAR is the symbol, SMAR. This is the stock of the day. This is the IBD stock of the day. Smart Sheet, not a company I'm that familiar with. I have not traded this one. but it it is indeed the stock of the day. So let me go over to that sheet. There we go. This is called Smart Sheet. Okay. And get a full screen there for everyone. There we go. Okay. On Smart Sheet, again, we have this cup basis. 48.99 is the pivot. We're currently right below the pivot at 47.41. So what's happened is we've come up. This is the higher high. This is the 48.99 on the cup. It came right up to that, but it's getting resistance and it's forming a handle here. So if you're going to look at this one, probably wait for it probably to pull back a little bit closer to the 21-day line. Let's see how far away from it is. Well, it's 3% above the 21-day line. You could possibly buy it here if you wanted to get in on this one. Probably a good price for this would be about 44. So if you had a limit order at 44, buying about a half a position, that might make sense on this one. It's in the software enterprise area, and this area has been moving up as of late. It's 21 out of 197. 197, of course, is the number of divisions of the stock market. There's 197 of them, and currently this is 21. This is the software enterprise group. But I'm not in it, but it is the stock of the day. So very interesting from that standpoint, and definitely something to look at. Let me show you the ones that I am in right now, and quite a list here actually, because again, I've been trying to get position here. I was mostly in cash last week, and now with the market starting to move, I'm in. I'm in AMD, of course. That was up today, 11.16%. Very, very powerful. I'm into Google. That was up 2.23%. Palantir, I'm up on that one as well, just still about 5%, which is pretty amazing. Trade Desk, I'm right even. Well, I'm down 1 cent, so that's not too bad. I did sell my position at a loss in TJX, which is the retailer. I just couldn't get it to happen, and I finally gave up on Intel, and I sold my last bit of Intel as well. I took a loss on that one as well, but I want to get into some of these ones that are moving, and that's the reason I did it. Double Verify, I'm in that one. It's up about 1.95% at 32.90. I do have a position in Shopify. I'm trying to start a position in Shopify. It was off about 2.27 today, but on lower volume. So I'm hoping that will reverse once it hits the 21-day line, I believe. Let's take a quick look at that one just to make sure. This is Shopify, SHOP. And let's take a look to see. Yeah, it's the 21-day line. That's where it's getting its support, it looks like. Hopefully I'm right on this one. We're going to get some support at the 21-day line. If I'm right on this one, it should move up very nicely, but it came up to its higher high at 54.66, and then it came through a cup, and then with handle, and then it moved beyond 50, moved up to 65, pulled back. I started buying it really when it started to pull back. I like to buy them at the 21-day line. I don't like to buy any more than about 5% above that. Of course, I violate that rule all the time, but it's buyable right now. 57.52 is the number for the 21-day line. It's a relative strength of 97, so that puts it in the top 3% of all the stocks out there. Again, Software Enterprise is the group that seems to be getting a lot of support. That seems to be getting a lot of support from the funds. So potentially you could enter this now at about 50. What I would do is put a limit in order in at about 57.75 to buy it there. Probably a half position. That's what I would do. So again, a nice stock. Shopify, I think they have a good future, at least in the short term. I did start a position in C3AI. This is the AI stock that is making a move right now. It was up today. I did buy a little bit high. I bought it at 30. It's down to 28.47, but it was up today overall about 2%. So I don't know. I don't know about this one. I also did buy a position in Taiwan Semi, and this one made a very nice move today, 12%, up 12%. or about right at about 100. So I think this one is also investable. Taiwan Semi TSM. I put a little video out on that this morning, so hopefully some of the people saw that. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to the questions. Thank you so very much. Let's see. Okay, so thanks for taking a look at me on TikTok. By the way, if you want to see everything, it's super duper easy. Just jump on over to YouTube at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and you can see them on at that location. All right, let's look at AMD. Okay. Like to attract more views? Okay, I would like to attract more viewers. Okay. They are going back. CrowdStrike, setting up for good. Okay, let's take a look at Crowd. Now, Fortinet, which is one of the other software security companies, had a little bit of a glitch because apparently some Chinese hackers were able to get through Fortinet and do some damage. This is what Microsoft reported. So maybe CrowdStrike has a better solution. I don't know. We'll see. But CrowdStrike is finally moved above the 200-day line. That's a good sign. We have what looks like the 50-day moving average is below the 200, but it looks like it's getting ready to cross above. If it crosses above, that's what they call the golden cross, and that is a good sign. So it does look like it's getting more strength. Look at the relative strength here, 83, and it's trending up. So that's telling us that this is becoming stronger against the rest of the market. If you'll notice this line up here, that's the S&P 500, and relative to the S&P 500, CrowdStrike is gaining on it. So this is looking very, very good. The software security area, not quite as good as the software enterprise area in terms of the market, but still pretty strong at 42 out of 197. So here we go. 135.99 or 136. That's the 21-day line. That's probably the ideal place to buy it, but it doesn't look like it's going to go down there. It looks like it's staying above the 10-day line. So if you want to buy this one, you probably have to buy it a little bit extended here. Currently, we are way down in the pivot. The pivot was at 242, and it was basically almost a year ago. So let's look at this. Let's look at the situation with CrowdStrike relative to overhead supply. Now, what is overhead supply? Well, overhead supply is a term that's used in trading to indicate people that bought something in the past higher than the current price. And if you look at this, this is the overhead supply line in 18 months, and CrowdStrike has a ton of overhead supply. So let's take a look at it. We've got all the people that bought up here, as you can see, in the last year, and then it went way down below 100, and then it's making its way back up. But the problem with this, of course, is when it starts to get up here higher, the people that have been holding it are selling it to break even, so that can force it down. So a lot of overhead supply on CrowdStrike right now. So that is an issue. That is an issue with CrowdStrike. So this could potentially impact this could impact its this could impact its moving up. So I would be a little bit careful about this. I don't like to see so much overhead supply, even though we're starting to see funds move back into it, and the numbers are good on the fundamentals. We have their sales are up 48% quarter over quarter, and 57% on the profits. So that's looking good. But the overhead supply problem is here. So I think there are better options out there than that. So I think there's definitely better options than on CrowdStrike. Now let's look at the fundamentals on Palantir. Palantir is a little bit different story. Palantir also has some overhead supply, but I think it's a little bit different. PLTR. I've been buying Palantir, as you know. I put out several videos on it, and it is coming back. It was the overhead supply line. Let's take a look at that. Is right here. Okay, but it's less because now we're passing when we pass the $14 mark per share. You'll notice there's a little bit of overhead supply here, but it's only a few months, and it's over a year ago. So most of the people will not have held it that long. So I'm not worried about overhead supply regarding Palantir. I think that we may be moving to the next higher high. The critical price is right here, and that was way back in March of 2022. That was where it sort of made its last higher high. So this is pretty. I think we're going to consolidate a little bit at this price, but in the after hours, we're looking really good at $12.93 a share. It's up in the after hours, and this one could run again. But here's the thing: I don't think I would buy it. I'd wait for a little bit of a pullback, maybe buy it at about 11.50. That's kind of where I would be looking to buy it. So that's sort of my take on it. I have been selling, actually. I've been selling some of my Palantir, taking the profits as they move up past 12.50. My average price in Palantir is about $9 a share because I started acquiring it prior to its run up. So I was doing fairly well on that one. All right, Lisa, thank you so much for looking at my show today. Tough market to make money and what to do. It is hard. I mean, if you aren't in the AI stocks, it's really difficult. I think that's sort of where the market is going right now. We're starting to see anything that's related to AI seems to be doing well. I did fairly well with Palantir, fairly well with Google. But a lot of the other stuff just isn't working. You're absolutely right. I mean, I had to sell TJX today, and Intel. Well, I got rid of Intel. I mean, I'd been holding on for almost a month, and it just didn't work at all. So I took a loss and sold that, and I bought AMD instead. I'm glad I did because it moved solidly up. But this is a tough market right now. You really it's I suspect we're going to get another pullback on Friday. That's why I'm setting up all my stop losses. But I think we're going to probably get another pullback. So yeah, absolutely tough market to play, and yeah, just tough. Sarah, thank you very much. You're looking at Rollins. Now, I did sell Rollins too. I had Rollins, ROL, and it just wasn't working either. So I did get rid of it. I had to get rid of this one too. Rollins, of course, is a large national pest control company, but doing quite well. I guess there's a lot of pests out there. This one, I bought it here, as you can see, on the 12th. I bought it, at 42.50, and it's 39. Now I started selling here. I mean, see, I sold there. You see, that's where I sold. Once it dipped below that 21-day line, 21-day line, I was out. It's continuing to move down. It's now at the 50-day line. Hopefully it'll get some support here. But here's the thing. If it moves below the 50-day line here, that's this red line here, you want to cut your positions. You need to sell half of it if it moves below that line to protect yourself. And then if it gets all the way down to the 200-day line, you need to sell everything, unfortunately, because this relative strength line is headed south, unfortunately. It may come back, but it's sort of a cup, and then this is the handle. And this is the problem in this market. It's just really, really tough because trying to buy the handle right is just very hard to do. I mean, usually you're too early, and then it pulls back even more. So very tough on Rollins. Let's get Shopify again. Analyze it. SHOP, of course, and there we are. Another situation where we had this, coming out of this sort of cup basis. You can see where I've bought and sold it there, all the way up to its higher high, 65.54. That was at the beginning of May. It's already pulled back to the 21-day line. Now, I do think that this is likely to get a bounce here at the 21-day line. It is up in the after hours slightly. It's up about 6 cents, 57.77. So actually, this is not a bad place to start a position, because if we draw the line here, you can see there was a cup, came up to the buy point, moved above that, and then it formed another cup, a little higher cup with the handle. Hopefully, we're going to get some support here. If you're in the stock and you're down more than 7%, cut your position in half. If not, I'd hold it and see if if that makes sense. If that makes it work. Okay, Mr. Jeet, let's look at Snowflake. That's SNOW. This is extremely widely held by institutional investors. What Snowflake is it's a software. It's kind of a cloud-based data warehouse a product that allows the construction of very complex pre-built data warehouses, and it's very popular with the investment community, but it has not done well. It's trading below the 200-day line. I'm a little bit worried about stock like this because this could give up a lot of here. If we look at the overhead supply line on this one going back about 18 months, you can see, we had a ton of overhead supply. See, at 180, we have many, many people who bought it above that. Excuse me. So there's a fair amount of overhead supply. The relative strength on this one is not very good. It's 55. So what would I do here? Well, it's getting a lot of resistance. It came right up to the higher high, which is about 180, and then it was rejected. And the reason it was rejected, overhead supply. This is why. Because you had all the people that were in it that had been holding it, and then they dumped it. And so that's what created this selling. And what's a shame here is that Snowflake had some great numbers. They had some great great numbers, but it wasn't enough. I mean, their sales were up 48%. They started to become profitable, and even though they still have a negative cash flow, they're starting to turn the corner there. It looks as like next year, and this year, they're looking for their profits to move up 76%. Now, normally, this would have been a big event. This would have been a huge event, but it didn't seem to work here. So the thing with Snowflake, I think you got to wait a little bit on it. I definitely would watch this one because this has the potential to be a very, very big stock. But I just think that there's better ones out there. I think that C3AI is better. Not that it's really in the same area. And I also think that Palantir is better. So those are my two kind of software-y stocks that I like more, at least for right now. Let's look at the Qs, QQQ. And so let's look at this. This is what's been confusing everyone is because, we seem to have all the strength in just a very few stocks. So let's look at the Qs on the daily chart here. There we go. We were up significantly today. We're pulling back a little bit after hours on the Qs. But this is interesting because let's move over to the QQQ. This is super interesting here because it looks like it's got support right at the 10-day line. So I suspect we're going to get a bounce here. We came down, we hit that 10-day line, and then boom, we're right back up. So it does appear, it's very volatile, but it does appear that we're getting some strong action on the Qs. So what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know, but I think that I'd be careful. I'd set my stop losses very tight tonight because I do think the market's going to pull back a little bit tomorrow. Relative strength 89, so that's very strong considering it's an index. So yeah, I mean we're still in a confirmed uptrend. You wouldn't think so after today, but because most of the stocks have not participated, but some of them have participated spectacularly. And those are the big cap techs. Those are the Nvidia, AMD, also some of the Google, those stocks. But the other ones not so much. So what's happening is you're seeing the funds move into tech stocks, but only a few of them, not all of them. It's not a broad based. It's not broad based. So it's just a very few of them. Let's look at AMD because this is one of the stocks that seems to be favored by some of the larger funds. And this one did gap up today. There we go. So this did gap up, as you can see here. The pivot on this 102.43 right here, and then come through with a cup, and then it's moved right up to the 10-day line, and then we had a move. Now, if it can hold above 120, it's going to go to 125. I'm almost sure, but right now it's way extended. This is not a good place to buy it. What I'm doing is when I'm pushing up my stop losses, I suspect it's going to pull back tomorrow. That's my guess, is we're going to see a pullback on AMD tomorrow. I suspect it's probably going to come down to about 118. That would be my guess. About 118. That would be more in line with the slope of this run here. So I think we're going to come down to about 118. I've been putting in stop losses up, at about 119 or so. Why? Because I want to capture some of this profit. I do think we're going to get a pullback. If we get a pullback, I'll sell, and then I will try to come back in if it moves higher. So that's kind of my take on it. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you, everybody. Okay, thank you very, very much. Oh, let's look at Ryan. The big man's coming. I like that. Let's look at RAN. This is Sun Run, I think. RAN. Let's look at this one. RAN. This, I don't know the stock, so not sure on this one. TO. What's TO? Oh, AMD round 2. Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay, didn't know that. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Take a look, tomorrow. Take a look at AMD. I think we're just going to get a pullback on AMD. My guess is to about 118. So be careful with that. It's not a good place to enter it. I'm going to move my stop losses up there. By the way, if you're not already a member of the Action Trailer, it's super easy to get on that. Just go to www.Dallas Trading Floor, or I do now have and I'll just show you this. I do have a little icon here. It's a QR code. Take pictures of this QR code, and you can sign up for the Action Trailer. It's super duper easy. Also, if you can like the show, that really helps us out, especially, and also subscribe on YouTube. So that also helps us out. But please smash the like button, and then also sign up for the Action Trailer. It's www.Dallas Trading Floor. And we'll be back tomorrow, of course. It'll be Friday. We'll see what happens. I do kind of expect a little bit of a pullback tomorrow, just because we've had this run in tech. So I do expect a little bit of a pullback tomorrow. But till then, happy trading.